Hello everyone, we are here, we are live, we are ready to go after a week off. We are once again in Kerbal Space Program, and for those people, just in case you remember where we were at the conclusion of the last stream, I had put to a poll to have people either, I was either going to build a space station or go and hunt down a Baobab Tree. The winner of the poll was to build a space station, which I did, and Jeb is up there floating around in low carbon orbit in it right now. But that leaves the Baobab Tree as the contract. So that's what we're going to attack first. But before, but that's not going to take too much of the video. I don't think that's too long to, hopefully it won't be too long to try and hunt one of those things down. But in the meantime, I want to do something else, and I'm not going to pretend that that I'm only noticing it just now. If I go to available contracts here, I have this one, Explore Minmus, which is to do a flyby of Minmus. I'm not going to do, I did a proper flyby of the moon, but this time I'm actually just going to get an orbit. We're going to orbit Minmus for a little while. I'm thinking I'm going to do a polar orbit too, so that we'll go over every biome and collect all kinds of science, and then gather some scientific data. So I'm going to grab that one right now, and that's going to be the second part of this mission, is to, whoops, I got rid of the wrong one. There we go, let's put that back. So we're first going to do the scanning of the tree thing, and then we're going to go and orbit Minmus, and I'm hoping we can get that all done in this stream. I don't see why this is. Now, just for people that are new to this stream, just to explain kind of what's going on, I'm calling this Beautified Stock because it's basically a stock game. Everything that I do should be able to be done in stock. I've done nothing that really modifies the gameplay. I've done nothing that changes any of the parts. However, I have added in things that improve the graphics. So you can see I got, you know, some clouds going on, and the textures are nicer and all of that kind of thing. I also have, like, for instance, mods like this one, which is Contracts Plus window, which is much easier to work with than the stock contract window, and a couple of other kind of UI things like that. The one mod I do have installed that I've been going back and forth about is ReStock. For those people that don't know, what the ReStock mod does is simply retextures all of the parts, so the parts look, I think, quite a lot better. However, they do change some of the frames. Like, I don't know, I'm not a dev person, but the boxes that those textures are wrapped around, and that affects to some degree the aerodynamics of the part. Now, for the things that I've done so far, I don't think it really affects things too much, but it does affect things, especially if you get into things like space planes and that kind of stuff. So I've been going back and forth. I really like it, or should I uninstall it? So what I'm going to do, like with all of these things where I can't make a decision, is I'm going to create a poll. So I'm going to make a poll right now and ask the people in the chat, should I keep ReStock? If the answer to that question is yes, I'll keep it in there. And if the answer to that question is no, I'll get rid of it for the next stream. So, what mode is this world asshead? This is a career mode, if that's what you're asking. So I'm going to start a poll right here, and I'm going to ask the question, should I keep ReStock? And just to make this very, very clear, for those people that are familiar with ReStock and ReStock Plus, I do not have ReStock Plus installed. ReStock Plus does add parts. ReStock Plus does modify some of the parts. For instance, it puts gimbaling on all the SRBs. That's not installed. It's just the thing that changes the textures and very slight changes in the aerodynamics. So I'm going to put this out here. Do I mean, it's the default difficulty. Is what this thing is set at. So it's a career mode in the default difficulty. Because I find actually just increasing the sliders, all it does is not really make the game more difficult. All it simply does is make the game more grindy. That's my interpretation. So anyway, what we got to do for our contract. Let's get started with this right now. So, transmit to 0 to 33%. Yeah, scan a Baobab tree. So to scan a Baobab tree, if I go to my science it requires, where is that? Oh, maybe it's under the deployable stuff. The scanner arm. Okay. Probably not. There it is. I need this CRSY light scanning arm, so I'm going to be adding that on. But let's get started with a rover. What do I have? I guess I'll just start. I don't even know if I have a probe body. Oh my gosh, I don't have command seats. This is going to be more fun than I thought. Okay. So let's see. What are we going to start with? I am pretty limited for my parts. Let's start with an octo probe core. And to that, so I have some control, and to that octo probe core, I would love to simply add this guy, but this guy I don't think has any hatches. So I think what I'm going to do, coming back here, is probably just add an inline cockpit to this. So here, let's clean this up a little bit, and maybe a little bit more. But let's put the probe core into a service bay, so it will be compatible. And we'll put this on here. Oh heck, let's put another one on here. We'll have two Kerbals, and we're gonna drive around. Now I do have some rover wheels. I only have the little ones like these. I'm pretty sure. Ah, there we go. I'm pretty sure I can make this work. What do I have for structural parts? Thank you very much there, NC Davis, for the kind donation. He says, I'm here, and I'm late, and I'm ready to go. Okay. I think what I'll do is I'm going to grab a couple of these fellas. Put the wheels on here. Yeah, rovers are much better once you have command seats. I am not in possession of command seats, so this is going to be, well, the best rover that I can build. That's not true. I'm sure people can build better ones than that. But a best rover I can build. Let's put it that way. So I'm going to slide that down like that. That's going to have to work. And we'll do the same thing over on the back here. Put on the snap. Again, get the wheels. Put them down towards the bottom like the other one. Try and make a match. Looks close. Yeah, people are. I'm getting from Podrick. He likes to take the time to make his builds look good, which I don't blame you. And sometimes I'll do that, but sometimes in the live streams, I'm more like I just want to get things done, if you know what I mean. Just get something out there that's gonna work. All right, so we got ourselves some. This is gonna be an ugly thing, and we might as well science this thing up. So I do have, for instance, a Science Junior. We'll put a goo here on the back. Let's go single symmetry. Put it like here-ish. Sure. What other science? I have the barometer. I mean, we'll probably end up in another biome. There might, or I've lost track in this game what I have and have not done. That is really all my science, isn't it? Oh my gosh, that's kind of embarrassing. Okay. Actually, what I do have, if I go to cargo, I know I have the EVA experiment kits. We'll do some EVAing. That's about it. Okay. Back to parts. All right, and we'll definitely need to put on some blinky lights. That has become kind of a meme with this channel. We need to have blinky lights. So let's stick the arm. I don't know if this will be its final location. It might be. You know, I should do. If I get back into structural, if that's where this thing's going to hang out, let's put something at the front to make it look not quite as terrible. So this is the scanner arm. Can I deploy it from here? Preview range. So this little sphere here shows this is how close I have to be able to come to a Baobab tree in order to scan it, and then I will scan it with that. And you can see there's a nice animation. And this comes, for those people that do not know, this scanning arm is coming from the Breaking Ground DLC, which is a stock part technically because it is coming at us from Squad. This is going to be an Orbit of Minmus once this mission is done. So that's what she's going to be. I'm going to stick in some batteries because I need the batteries. So this is hopefully going to go pretty quick. And then afterwards, we'll do the Orbit of Minmus. And I'm hoping that will go pretty quick too. Because I've already orbited the moon. And the thing that you can often do is... oh, that looks terrible. Oh, so what happens when I talk and build at the same time? The thing that something that you built for the moon is usually adequate to go to Minmus and vice versa as well. So I'm hoping that just some minor modifications to my moon, I did it again, to my moon vehicle will suffice to be able to go to Minmus. But first we're going to go for a drive. Alright, so I got, like, what's that, 200, 400, 600 units of electric charge on here. We'll stick some solar panels on the roof. Electricity solar panels. Shouldn't be that hard to find. Yeah, sure. Like so. And like so. Hopefully these will be enough to drive this thing. Let's put a couple more. Yeah, we can put more. Let's put some here and some back here. Just do some tweaking of the... We'll keep these guys on a bit of an angle. Because we don't know where that sun's going to be. That works. It's like a little... There we go. And we'll do the same thing over on this one. Bring them out here like that a little bit in towards each other. Works for me. All right, basically, I guess these wheels can go further back here. I might as well do that. So we'll grab this, snap that on. Like I said, this is going to be very, very simple. Okay, hopefully this will be adequate. Hopefully this will be adequate. Okay, so we're going to take these rear ones. I'm going to disable the steering on them. And I'm thinking that's going to be about it. Let's explore. Look at that. This is the kind of thing ReStock does, is these little extra textures. Not on everything. Oh, I can make those. Oh, look at that. That's nice. Sure. Notice that this is an open... That's what it is. And heck, let's go. Oh yeah, lights, of course, lights. So we'll put on a couple of, what is this thing? Oh, an indicator. Oh yeah, the indicator lights. I forgot about those. That's a mod I have installed. Not really looked too much into it yet. If I can rotate these the way I want. There we go. Success. Some headlights here. Come back a little bit. I think I can make these white as well. There we go. And we need brake lights at the back, of course, because of course we do. So I'm just going to use a couple of these dome lights here. Gray or white? Oh, white looks good. And these, of course, should be red. And actually, what I should do, if I go into... Oh, I have no action groups. Haha. I was going... You know what I should do then? So I think I have the cache for it. Let's just say this is the scanner buggy. I was going to attach those to the brake action group so that they come on when you brake. Can you do a toot for a world without ground packing and others one because I don't have the expansions. I have my tutorial series don't have any of the expansions installed. So if you take a look at my tutorial series, which is ongoing, none of the expansions are talked about. Why 4 wheels instead of 6? My car has 4 wheels. I could put 6 on there, but I don't think I need them. What am I doing now? I came out here to upgrade this. And we're going to upgrade this. There we go. And then that should give me access to the brake action group. I could go with 6. If I start to have traction issues, it's pretty easy to put 2 more wheels here at the back. Where am I at? I was going to put on, oh yeah, action groups. Now I have action groups. I'm going to go to the light action group. We're going to take these guys out. So that's the dome lights. Out they come. And we're going to go to the brake action group. And we're going to toggle the lights with the brakes. Beautiful. Okay. Oh heck. Let's just launch this and see what happens. So, Kerbals. I am really low on Kerbals. Poor Jebediah is all by himself up in a space station, and one of the very common contracts that I have yet to see in this series is the rescuing Kerbals from orbit. I love those because you get free Kerbals out of them rather than having to hire them. Be sure to pick up the, oh yeah, the prom kids for the stretch limo. So let's put on our lights. Now this is, as always, this is a test unless it works, in which case it's a mission. So this is really, I'm just going to see if this thing actually can drive. I'm going to keep an eye on electricity. It should be okay. Oh, this is good enough. We might have some fun on hills. We'll find out pretty soon. Here, let's close that. There's nothing in there that we're really interested in. We're off. We're off. We're off. Hello there, Scotty. Glad you can make it. I'm a little worried about clearance. So we are hunting for Baobab trees. Now you can see that there are a lot of extra textures going on. Those are coming from the Parallax mod. So that's all the grass and flowers and everything you see, and most of the trees that you see there in the background. And that does make it tricky when it comes to finding these stock things like the Baobab trees. You might recall that when I was on the surface of the moon, I had to find some moonstone, and I couldn't find it for the life of me. However, what we do have, I think our electricity is fine. Oh, I never took out the mono. Oh well, whatever. What we should have, if a good, I'm going to use this cheat because I think I don't want to spend forever hunting for a Baobab tree. I think that's pretty boring. But if you go into cheats on the console menu, and for those that don't know, Alt F12 gets you this console menu. There is somewhere, oh, now I've lost track of where it is. Okay, why am I should have, of course, as always, I should have looked at this before coming. Performance, flight info is not there, version info, delta B info. I thought it was just under cheats. There is a toggle for showing you. Bump. It's not here. And now I've also forgot. Oh, it's under resources, silly. Is enable, nope. Show, nope. Breaking ground, I can do that. Here we go. Surface features, breaking ground, surface features, and enable surface feature scans, I guess, but I think it's this one, the finder? Or is it this? If I close it? Oh, don't tell me this isn't going to work. This didn't work for me before. Alright. We should get great big, oh, I see one. See that little red? You might not see it on your screen, but I can see it on mine. More or less driving at it. Right there is a Baobab tree. Boy, I am glad I turned that on because that would have taken me forever to find that. Okay. So we're off for a drive. This thing is not exactly speedy, to say the least. I'm at full throttle, and I'm going at a blistering 9.8 meters per second. Yoich. So we're going to have to just enjoy the view as we go. Oh, I'm seeing in the chat there, not cheats, it's in the Breaking Ground DLC. Yep. And if I was smart, I would have checked that out. And I did. It's funny, when I was on the moon, those people that remember that, people were telling me, and there was some sort of a bug that kept me from seeing the little red arrows. It has something to do with, I had to actually restart the game and then import everything into it, like basically from a new save, and then the bug went away. But I am hunting down that red arrow. I have no idea how far away it is. Now, what I should do, give myself a little bit of time warping. This is always a little bit nerve-wracking, because rovers can be a little bit fun sometimes. Yeah, she's not pretty. I forgot I didn't have command seats or anything. Oh, I got indicator. Here, let's stop. Let's stop for a second here. Kill the time warp. Stop. Noticing this is the indicator lights that I was talking about. Oh, my brake lights work. See the indicator lights? See the green flashing? So that's telling me all of this science, that there is stuff I can collect. I'm also getting flashing on here too. So that means I can I do crew reports? I can. So I'm on Kerbal Shores. Why don't we do a bunch of science? Might as well. So it's telling me, oh, you got science to collect. Science to collect. There we go. Material study from Kerbal Shores. We got mystery goo. So I don't know if people consider that to be a cheat or not. These little flashy green lights that are telling me that there's science to collect. It is a step far from stock. But somebody recommended that mod to me, so I went, sure, why not? We'll go for it. We can do an EVA report probably. That's right. Oh, I also have, did I not? I did. Oh, shoot, I'm doing this. I just gave Valentina I want to have this go for Bob. Bob can go there. There we go. The EVA science kit. Let go, Bob. He is in the tall, tall grass. So Bob can do, I did the EVA report. I can take a surface sample, but I can also perform an EVA experiment, which is the golf club experiment. Oh boy, he is in some thick rough here. That's for sure. It's actually sinking into the ground. All right, that's 7.5 science. Notice it's from Kerbin's surface, so there's no more science to collect. So that's the end of the golf club experiment. Yep, and then we can restore this and collect a goo. Restore that. Take that data. Take that data. That's the end of that. Okay, and it's still flashing. Oh, whatever. Take the data that's there. Now, hopefully Bob will have little trouble. I'm wondering if the easiest thing might be to climb up back here. You are a star, Bob. Bob, you are amazing. Kerbals are great climbers. There we go. Oh, okay. You can do it that way if you want. In you go. Okay. Now I'm going to take the opportunity to do a quick save. And let's take the brakes off and we'll go. 22 miles per hour in the mud. So that's what the 9.8 meters per second translates to. I guess that's not so bad. Looks slower than that. A little bit of fun sometimes is why Trav uses 6 wheels. Yeah, we're just getting her done though. So the flashing light has stopped, so it's clearly happy that I've collected the science that I have. Now let's put on I'm just going to go to 2 times warp because I find more than 2 times with rovers can get a little too adventurous for my taste. And I'm using shopping cart wheels for sure. Yeah, these are clearly not, these are wheels that are really meant obviously for a smaller rover than this, so I'm clearly not, it kind of, I think I've complained about the order in which you unlock parts. I do kind of wish you got things like wheels for cars and parts for planes and things like that before you got into big rocket engines. And oh my gosh, this thing can't climb this hill. And it's not even that steep a hill. So we're going to have to sort of switch back our way up here. Oh my gosh. More power! The electric charge is holding up, but maybe 6 wheels wouldn't have been a bad idea. Oh my goodness. What are the best realistic tech tree mods? I'm not so sure about realistic, but I am a big fan of Unkerbal Start. I like the order and the progression that comes up in those mods. And another one is probes before crew. They're both very similar in that they give you probe parts before and plane parts before you start getting crewed space parts. And there we go, we're off. And I really like both of them, to be honest. But I wanted to keep this guy stock, so I'm keeping with the stock tech tree. I did know this is no longer a test start. Once I got off the runway, this stopped being a test start. Yeah. Unkerbal Start's the one I like the most as well. Okay, hopefully we are not too far. Oh, I see it that way. Oh, I can see it now. It's over there. Just over that hill. It forces you to use a lot of sounding rockets, these other, yes, they do. Your early science is about just putting a thermometer on a rocket and sending it up into the atmosphere and getting what you can. But I like it. But I can see why the game didn't go that route, because I think they wanted people to get the Kerbal experience like right from the get-go. So they wanted to give you enough to be able to stick a booster under a capsule and fire that Kerbal up in the air right from the beginning, which I get. Okay, I got to be a little careful cresting this hill here. There we go. And now we're coming downhill. This is a steep downhill. By the way, all of these trees are, I'm pretty sure, I'm not going to test it at high speed, but I'm pretty sure they are physics-less. I'm pretty sure I'll just drive right through them if I, here, we'll experiment with this one. See, we can, yeah, we'll break that illusion there right now. So you can't crash into trees. Oh, now I have that very clear view of that Baobab tree. I have brakes full on, and we are out of control. Barely slowing down. There we go. We're doing better now. So I see the one Baobab tree up ahead of us right there. I'm just doing a quick looky-loo around. Whoa, brakes. We're going pretty fast. Like, holy cow. Like, if it wasn't for that waypoint, look, there's nothing else around. How the heck do they expect you? Oh, I'm getting more flashy lights back here. We'll get to the Baobab tree. We'll do the scan, and then we'll collect the rest of this, and then we'll be done. Momentum scares me, Trav. Trav says use that momentum. Well, it sort of gets a little bit terrifying sometimes. Okay, we are getting a little bit of an uphill here. I can Alt F12 and turn that stuff off, because I can clearly see the tree now. Like, even in the stock game, if you're playing this pure stock, my advice to find these trees and any other kind of these surface textures, oh my gosh, we're going slow, is to, what was my head gonna say, is to turn off the terrain scatter, and then, yikes, turn off the terrain scatter, and then the only things on the surface are the things like these trees, and it makes them much, much easier to find. But I think with Parallax installed, that becomes really difficult. I'd love to go straight at the tree, but I'm literally having all the trouble in the world just getting up this hill. Maybe using that momentum would have been the better idea. Holy cannoli, this thing. I don't have my brakes on though, still, do I? I'm not out of electricity. Oh, my electric charge is getting low. Shoot. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Ah! Oh, I see the issue. I am going up quite a hill here. Stop for a second. My electric charge isn't the bestest. Okay, okay, we're gonna come this way. Brakes, 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 brakes. Brakes, brakes, brakes. Okay, this way. Go, go, go. I think I'm out of... I think I have to wait for my electric charge to come back. Yep. Would you be willing to do a tutorial series for robotic parts? I'm not unwilling to do that. Sorry, I'm just charging up my batteries, but I noticed when I did that time warping... Oh boy. That we sunk into the muck here a little bit. Boy, even at 4... okay, I don't like... Okay, I'm going to kill the time warp. Okay, we're back up. I should be able to time warp. There we go, at better speeds. There we go. Okay, let's charge up the batteries. I'm not unwilling to do the robotic tutorial. My experience with the robotic parts is limited, is really what the problem is. Okay, here, let's try this again. So I just charged up my batteries. This thing was oh, turning off the lights would have been a good idea, says Martin. Yep, turning off the lights would have been a good idea. So we're just going to have to kind of switch back our way up this pastoral little hill. Oh my gosh. You know what we can? We can do science along the way. Conduct a material study. Where are we? In grasslands, probably? Yeah. Boy, as soon as these wheels have work to do, they are struggling. Crew report. Oh, they're got a crew report, so obviously I probably touched down here at some point. Log that. Okay. Oh my gosh. We're so close to it. Oh, and he laughed about the lights, but then did I turn them off? No. Okay, we're starting to pick up some speed again. The material study I don't think sucks up any power unless you do the transmitting, which we're not going to do. So I thought I might as well... I think we're leveling off. We're leveling off. I think I'm actually going to get close. Oh, no, that's a little too aggressive. We're on more of a hill than I think. Right, you can tell on the Navball I am going up a little bit. Okay, let's turn this way. Close in on this tree. Oh yes, if you have Kerbalism installed, then science takes up a lot. Managing electricity and Kerbalism with the science becomes much more of a thing. Okay, so we're coming around the side here, and then I'm going to come at it from the side. We're here. We're here. Okay, so got to remember how this works. Brakes on, brakes on, brakes on. Little nudge of the tree. Let's back up a little bit. Okay. Now we can put our lights back on. Okay, let's see. Do I just right-click on this and say scan the tree? Sure looks like it. Should be close enough. The arm sucks up power. Yeah, it does. The scanning's taking up power. But I think I'm okay. I hope I'm okay. I did. I got my science. Oh my gosh, it's only 6 science for that? That means I gotta come back? I gotta transmit. Okay, let's collect. Oh, I don't have an antenna. Transmit 0. Oh, it's 0 to 33%. I thought I had to get at least 33%. It's 0 to 33%. So I'm fine. I'm above 0. I'm less than 33%. Let's get Bob out. Bob is going to do himself an EVA report. Oh, that's unnecessary. Take a surface sample. A little bit of science there. That's it. Recover. And we should be done. Certainly not going to drive back. No solar generation. No, there is solar generation. Oh, I parked in the shade. Didn't think that through. I need to return with bigger arms. I think I'm good though. I think I'm only between, it was only between 0 and 3. Yeah, I can see the contract. So I got a little bit of science. I'm up to 179 science. And over here I got notification contract is complete. So there we go. Scan the Baobab Tree. What I need to do is take that scanner arm either to Minmus or the moon and get some real science going. But what we're going to do instead is we're going to orbit Minmus, and we're on our way to doing that right now. Okay, so what I have, let's pull out our contract here. It is this one, which is simply fly by Minmus. Flying by Minmus simply means entering the SOI and leaving the SOI again. If you get an orbit in the interim, that's perfectly fine. So we are going to get an orbit in the interim and then gather some scientific data either through recovery or transmitting. So not too much to think about there. Now I'm going to pull up Munar 2, which is this fella. So this vessel had already gone and orbited the moon and collected a whole stack of science there. And typically, if you build something that can handle a moon mission, it can handle a Minmus mission. So I'm going to do, though, a few things to it. So let's, what is the orbiter part? The orbiter part is this bit from here to here. We're going to do, whoops. There we go. So we're going to do a little bit of modification. I mean, I've unlocked more parts since then. Now, first of all, I should check science. Oh, I can see solar panels are messed up in here. This is going to be Minmus 1, by the way. But these modifications shouldn't take long. So I can see the solar panels are messed up. So let's fix that. So I think I had them on three-way symmetry by mistake, is what happened there. So let's fix this up. That looks much better. Okay, I can see the only science I have is a goo and a materials bay, probably because I've been through the moon before, because I did do a moon flyby, but clearly we can put on more science, so I'm going to put in a thermometer, because I've never been to Minmus in this save yet, and a barometer. We'll stick that there, and we will also open up the cargo tab. Oh, there is a EVA experiment kit, so that's good to know that that is there. All right, so, and I should put on an antenna. Oh, I put on two-way symmetry there. I just noticed the science on the, I saw science here on the wrong side. So let's, single symmetry. Single symmetry. Okay, let's, I didn't put any lights on this before because I remember being in just this all-fired hurry to be done. So we'll put some lights on it. So that is going to be a red light. Over on this side, we'll remove symmetry, make that a green light. We'll also put some blinky lights down here towards, right around here. Yeah, two-way symmetry is good. Turn that to white. Make that a white blinky light. Blink on. Copy that, put it on the bottom. We'll mush them together so they're like two, like a double light. And actually what I think, oh, I can see the, whoops. I've been doing that a lot today. Take a week off, I'm completely out of practice. Just noticing one, for whatever reason, seems to be a little higher. There we go. Let me match up there. Actually, I think I'll take this one, remove it from symmetry, make it a single amber light. Will blink at a lower rate. And then finally, we'll put on a few of these guys. These are just some spots. Just turn them on and angle them inwards. Yeah, just like that. Just to light up the craft a little bit. There we go. Now there's tons of batteries inside there. There are. I should stick on an antenna. Turn this off. These are all the things I just didn't do before, and I don't know. I think because I was in a hurry. Put on a Communitron 16. A single one will do. Beautiful. All right, and let's see. How are we set for action groups with this? If I click on this, action group 0, yeah. Toggle this stuff on. Whoops, that one too. Toggle the antenna, so there, close that. Okay. Now, how am I fixed for? I got myself a bit of a budget for this thing. Let's put this on vacuum. Because to get to Minmus is just a little bit more than the moon. It's 930 meters per second to get to Minmus, but the capture around Minmus is much less. It's 150 meters per second, and then it's going to be about another 150 to get back home. That adds up to 1230. I'm going to add on approximately about 1,000, so this will deal with the upper part of the insertion. So I'm looking at a budget around 2230. You know what? This thing's at 2404 as it is. Is its thrust to weight just fine? It certainly is. I think I'm just going to leave this as is, just like that. Let's slap the booster underneath. So that should be good there. I'll just make sure that all of this is making some degree of sense. That makes sense, that makes sense, that comes on, that comes on. And for a total budget, 5,323 meters per second. That is definitely overkill, but that's okay. Nothing wrong with overkill. Thrust to weight ratio at launch is fine. So what I'm just going to add on are some launch clamps, and I think I'm just going to call this one done. I like it when a plan comes together. Remember some repair kits. That's probably a good idea. Let's put on some repair kits. I so rarely break things. That sounds like I'm just inviting it to happen. Cargo, cargo, cargo. But yeah, let's put on some repair kits. Where are the repair kits? There we go. EVA, put on a couple of repair kits. There we go. We got the EVA experiment kit. I think that's it. I don't think I have any other science. No. Again, just checking. Delta V is fine. Launch thrust to weight is fine. I'm ready to just do this. Yes, I did figure out how to attach things onto the engine plates. Maybe I should do that. Because I'm a little dense. Drop Pasta asked, did Mike figure out how to attach nodes to engine plates? And the answer to that question is yes, I did. But I'm just... I looked at myself after that stream and went, oh my god, I'm a dummy. So just for people that maybe don't know... Why is this being weird? There we go. Oh, I was clicking on the shroud. Okay. So this is an engine plate down here, and these are two Terrier engines. And when I originally built this, I ended up doing a lot of shuffling around, but if you just right-click on the engine plate and just... isn't it? Attach nodes. Here it is. This button here, it's now on a single attach node. If I just click it once, it now says double, and now there's two. Nice attached nodes. I'm going to actually rotate this engine plate because for whatever reason I want them that way. So there, that makes life a lot easier, and now I can stick this underneath and everything is great. So engine plates, very useful. They do come with the DLC. They're coming from, I believe, the Making History DLC, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. In the meantime, I think this guy's ready to launch. So let's... Oh, wait. Who's our crew? We're going to need a scientist, so sorry, Bill. It's Valentina and Bob. Oh, I need more Kerbals. Launch. Launch. John Nowak is pointing out that I'm not bringing along an engineer, so why bother having the repair kits? That's very true. It's a two-seater, so it's a pilot and a scientist, and that's it. Alright, so let's get ourselves to Minmus. Now, I get people arguing with me. We're going to set Minmus as a target. That some people just like to put themselves into an equatorial orbit and then make the plane change on their way out to Minmus, which is fine. I'm not arguing, but personally, I really prefer to actually launch myself into a parking orbit that's in the same plane as Minmus's 6-degree inclined orbit. So all you need to do that is center this on Kerbal, and that looks like to me like I just, and we're gonna put the moon edge on, just like that, and then we're going to put Minmus's orbit edge on, just like that. And where the two orbits cross, which is right around here, that's your launch window. That's where you launch. Unfortunately, it really looks like I just missed a launch window. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first quick save, because I want a quick save. I'm going to time warp all the way around. There's another node on this side, but I don't want to launch at night. So I'm going to come all the way around to the other side. And we're going to launch at the appropriate launch window to put ourselves into a parking... Okay, let's stop the time warp. Stop. There we go. Okay, again. Get the orbit of the moon. And the reason why the moon is so useful is because the moon is in an inclination of 0. To be honest, all you gotta do is keep the moon and just rotate sideways just a bit so that this is crossing right there. That's where my launch window is. So I'm gonna just time warp until I'm there, and then all I gotta do is launch and go 6 degrees towards the north, and I'm gonna end up being in a parking orbit in the same plane as Minmus. Now if people find this too fiddly, that's perfectly fine. It does save you a bit of delta V. I don't personally find it too fiddly. In fact, this is the kind of stuff that I love doing in KSP. But each their own. Okay, we're off. We're off. So, hoping. Obviously didn't, again, test. I don't have enough Kerbals to risk killing them. We're going straight up. And then we're going to pitch. Oh, this does not have a lot of pitch authority. And we're going to go to the north. So I want to have a heading. If I subtract 6 from 90, that's 84. Maybe about 83 degrees heading. But I don't have a lot of control because of these SRBs. But we're doing all right. Here, Val, lock on that prograde vector for a bit. Yeah, it's a little bit. I want this to be about 83 degrees. Oh, there we go. Now I'm going to have more control. Don't I have more control? I do. Oh, those are reliance too. Boy, I don't know about the design of this guy. Let's see here. Going up very steeply. Okay, let's reduce throttle. Thankfully, this thing is dramatically overbuilt. 82 degree heading is fine. Oh, more throttle. Why'd I just kill it? Oh my gosh, I don't know what I was thinking about there. I want to try and keep this time to apoapsis about a constant. Kerbal Engineer most certainly makes hitting that launch window easier. You can literally select Minmus as a target and it tells you when you're at either the ascending or descending node. But this will work too. And then you can keep track of your inclination. Here my inclination is now at 5 degrees, 5.1 degrees. I'm aiming for 6 degrees. A little this way, Val. Keep it on surface there for a little bit. What's this at? 5.4 degrees. 5.6 degrees. .7, 5.9. And actually, as soon as this gets to 6, I'm going to put this on orbit. There. Lock onto that orbital prograde vector. That should stay pretty close to 6 now. Oops. Back to here. Okay, I do have to watch my apoapsis. It's getting close to 80. Yep, this inclination's right at 6. That's happy. Alright, we're just going to ride up like this. Somebody really likes, you really like this craft there, dropped pasta? I don't know. I guess it's okay. It was made out of the parts that I had at the time. All the changes in diameter I find a little funny. The tri-coupler is really useful early on when you don't have things like the skipper and the mainsails and that kind of stuff, and you need to just strap a bunch of boosters together. Alright, there we go. We're at 80 kilometers here. We're almost in space, for goodness sakes. There we are now in space. We can hit 0 to open up various things. Let's see, this is right at 6 degrees. That's perfect for the inclination. All right. I don't know why that went to target. Probably because I clicked it onto target and didn't notice I wasn't on orbit. But that's okay. No harm done. I see NC Davis says that. You're on target, not on orbit. Yeah, I'm just noticing that now. Okay, where's my time to... Okay, be careful here. I gotta start burning. I got a lot of periapsis to add here. Oh, that stage just ran out. That's okay. It was designed to do so. Okay, let's just lock the prograde here. Oh, I'm at full thrust. I'm pitching up just a little bit because my time to apoapsis is getting very close. Still locked to prograde, so it wants to go back on prograde. There we go. Up, up, up. I don't want this time to apoapsis to get to 0. Up again. Every time I pitch up, it pushes that time to apoapsis away from me a little bit. Up, 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 up. Not the most efficient, but it'll get the job done. Okay, I'm going to cut throttle. 10 seconds to apoapsis. My periapsis is getting close to what I need it to be. Let's just finish this off. Close enough. All right. So we are now in orbit. Our inclination is 6.0 degrees. Let's see how we did with Minmus. So there's our blue orbit here. You can see how it's in the same plane, hopefully, as Minmus's orbit. We have a difference in inclination of 0.2 degrees, but that's because I didn't exactly launch at the right window, which is always difficult to do. But I have, what do I got? 1568 meters per second left. My budget says I only need 1230, so I got tons. But now that I've got the matching, I should be able to get a Minmus encounter like right here. So this is going to be about 930. There it is. See, there's my Minmus encounter. Easy as that. Let's focus our view on Minmus. Let's dial this in. Put this onto the maneuver widgety tool thingy. Come a little, oh. Dial back a little bit. So how are we doing here? We want to come into a polar orbit, so actually coming in below is perfectly acceptable. I'm perfectly fine with that. Again, the purpose of the purple orbit, the polar orbit, is just to... That'll be close enough. We'll do a teeny tiny mid-course correction on the way there. All right, so we got a 50-second burn coming up. Let's do it. Turn that way, turn that way. And I'm going to F5 again. Okay. What happens if it gets to 0? Yes, Martin says, what happens if your apoapsis gets to 0? I was probably concentrating too much on having that not happen when you said that. I think it's answered well in the chat for those people that are watching that are maybe missing on the chat. Lock that prograde. What happens is you end up on going back down again, right? I kind of think of it when you're doing that circularization. You want to keep yourself as close to apoapsis as you can all the way through it. That's kind of the most efficient way to go. And I think of it as like surfing. I want to surf that apoapsis wave. I'd like to just sit there right at that crest of the wave while I'm doing that burn. That's what I think about. And now, Ken, if you do end up having apoapsis go past 0, your time to apoapsis, you can pitch up and bring it back in front of you again. That does work. It's not a disaster. All right. So I can barely see It's 5, 4, 3, and 2, and 1, and go. We're off. And we've collected lots of science here. I'm not even bothered checking science because I know I've gotten lots and lots. Ah, for getting a Minmus, you like launching from the desert launch site. You know, any excuse to use the alternate launch sites is fine in my book because I find myself not really using them. They're cool that they're there, though. I wish the game, because I remember playing the mission pack that comes with the Making History DLC, and I really enjoyed the missions that forced you to use the Boomerang launch site. Sorry, I gotta pay attention to what I'm doing here. And did things like get to the moon, but from the Boomerang launch site, and I found that really enjoyable to have to work that out. Like, the game kind of spoils you by putting Minmus, or putting, sorry, the KSC, that's good. Putting the KSC right on the equator. That does make so many things more easy. And if you launch from other latitudes, it actually adds a nice element of complexity. An extra little layer of complexity to the game. Okay, so got that set up, that set up, that set up. I do want to be a little closer, so we're going to do a mid-course correction. So add that. I don't think this is going to be too much of a correction. Come in around, yeah, sure, 12 kilometers. That's fine. Maybe come a little, probably a little, yeah. That, a little further away. There we go. That looks good to me. 0.5 meter per second correction. So that's thanks to my parking orbit that I had to do before. Okay, F5 again. Let's get ourselves out there. Bye, Kerbal. Way out. Now, because this is like a 0.1 second burn, I'm going to take these two engines and really tweak down the thrust limiter here. So that's 4. Unfortunately, I do have to do this in a balanced way. So, there we go. Got them both down to 4. Oh my gosh, that's still... Okay, let's... 1. This is like such a nothing burn. Now it's a 2-second burn. Okay. There we go. Happy with that. Happy with that. Let's put that onto the normal vector. Let's put these engines back up to where they belong. Okay, make sure, I think the solar panel should be nicely exposed. Let's get back into orbital view and let's get closer to Minmus. So, F5 again. Time warp up to here. So warp to here. We should be seeing Minmus coming at us. Oh, I think something, that is the mystery goo. There's Minmus. Okay, so what happened just there is I have some mystery goo sitting on the surface of the moon that was collecting mystery goo, and I think it just, yes, screen message. Surface deployed mystery goo observation from the moon has generated the science that it needs. Another 18 science points. So I think that contract is now done. No, it's not. It's not done. It's collected 40 of 50%. So one more of those and it will be done. So that's what that funky noise was. And that's coming from the Chatterer mod, by the way, those sort of 90s modem noises. All right. Minmus is coming at us. See it coming right there? Wait for the SOI change. There we go. You can see the Navball do its flippy flip. Okay, and I think I'm pretty happy with my approach to Minmus here. Let's just check this again. Yeah, so I think I'm just going to do a capture right here. Of course, I'm going to be collecting science before I do that. And this is going to give us an opportunity to talk about returning from a polar orbit around Minmus or the moon, which I haven't done yet. So I'm fine with that, I think. I'm getting entirely too picky. There, fine. That'll give us something good to talk about. So anyway, you can see how the lights are blink. I don't need these lights blinking at me to tell me that there's going to be science to collect here, because I have yet to be in Minmus's SOI. So there we go, 52.5 science there. We're going to get a temperature scan. We're going to get a materials or a mystery goo. This is going to be a lot of science, this mission. Like, if you're looking for science and you've yet to do an orbit of Minmus or the moon, that's some pretty easy pickings right there. Crew report right there, and we'll EVA bomb. Well, thank you very much, Martin. I'm glad Martin's saying that he always learns from these things, which is, I'm always appreciative when I hear people say that. Okay, we'll get Bob here. So we're going to get his science pack. Again, always when you do these inventory switches in space, make sure you don't lose his EVA pack, because that would be bad. Bob's going to take the crew report out of there so we can get ready to do another one. He's going to do an EVA report while he's here. And he's going to do the EVA experiments kit. And you know what? I'm going to do the EVA experiments kit with RCS off so that Bob has no control. And we're going to perform some EVA science. He's going to spin his wing nut, and conservation of angular momentum will spin him the other way. And that will get me 62.5 science from that. That is awesome. Okay, now I'm put on that. Let's get back. And of course, he has to collect this science here. So we're going to be doing this all again once we're in near space. So collect that. And restore. Whoa, Bob. You got a little stuck there. Come back here on the other side. Take that data. Take the data from the goo. Collect that data. You know what? Just don't show me this again. I know that. Restore. Yeah, these flashy lights, they're kind of handy, but they are, it's kind of one step away from stock. That might be, I haven't decided yet, might be one step too far from stock. Those flashy lights telling me there's science to collect. But I've got them installed for now. They do look good though. Okay, board. So, yeah, we have now collected all the science that we can for here. So now it's time to F5 this thing. Yes, from 10th Dimension is mentioning Veos. Veos is honestly one of my... I don't follow a ton of... I mean, this might sound funny considering what I do, but I actually don't follow a whole lot of KSPers, but Veos is one of them. And his knowledge of SSTOs and drag and all that kind of stuff, I mean, it goes far beyond what I'm interested in. But if you want to learn about building good SSTOs and jets and all that, he's definitely the guy. And I also like his designs. My designs are lazy. I'll just flat out say it. I'm functional in my designing. But Veos is, he makes some pretty neat things. Alright, so we are approaching Minmus. There is a funky haze, I think, that they put around Minmus with the Astronomer's pack. A little bit of subliming of the icy surface, I guess. Minmus is slowly melting away on us. Okay, at some point, though, we are going to come into near space. Now, I can't quite remember where it is, but I know what's going to happen. All these lights are going to blink on me when I get to near space, so that's going to be our giveaway, isn't it? I think it's 35 or 36 kilometers, if I'm not mistaken. We're going to find out pretty soon. So we're just at 65, but when these guys start blinking, that's near space. So 45. I also got to watch that burn. Really, not yet? Wow. We're only 3.5 minutes from the burn. 32? I got 30 something in my head. No? Okay. Where is... No, oh, we just crossed. Maybe it was like 29 or something, but you can see here, we are now in near space, so we're going to conduct a material study for another 100 science. Let's just do all this stuff real quick. Is there a mystery go? Actually, I don't know why. None of this is biome specific, so I don't have to do this stuff quick. Crew report. I could have done this after we got our orbit as well, but what is biome specific is Bob's EVA report. That is over Minmus's lowlands, and being in a polar orbit, I'm going to be able to collect multiple EVA reports. I also have the EVA experiment kit, but you know what I think I'll do is I think I'll do that after the burn. There's going to be no rush. We're going to be stuck in a low orbit. So let's just put this onto retrograde and get ready. "30 kilometers is near space." Thank you all. Always lose track of that information. Yeah, Minmus is very inviting. It's going, come down to our surface. We're minty fresh down here. It's like, no, we're just going to do an orbit. That's all we're going to do. I'm sorry. Alright, so this is only a 7-second burn with these guys at full thrust. So I'm not going to go to full throttle. What I'm going to do instead is wait till a little bit before the start burn in is a little bit before 7 seconds, and I'll just go to a, I don't know, like a third thrust, something like that. Hello, Philip. I'm glad you made it. Oh, I got a funky camera change there. I thought I was on free mode, but obviously not. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's 12 by 11. I'm happy with that. Let's get this camera back to free. There we go. All right, we are now here. Let's EVA Bob. Can Bob do another EVA report? Oh, we're above the Midlands. Good for you, Bob. And he can also do, so that's a, we'll store that one away. Take that, store. We'll also do, of course, another of the EVA experiments. Perform EVA science. Yeah, Gilly is funny. It's Gilly's near space is lower than the mountaintops. It is kind of weird. Okay, and that's another 100 science there from that. This is going to be, like I said, this is going to be a lot of science. Now, Bob is going to go around and collect from all of this stuff, being careful not to break our antenna. Restore. Take that data. Collect that data, restore, and take that one. I think that should be good. And he also, let's do another EVA report. We're over lowlands. I already got lowlands. Okay. So we've done all the science that we can except for EVA reports. They're the only ones that are biome specific, and that's why I put myself in a polar orbit. So let's board. Everything's stored away. Now, I'm not sure if there's any kind of light to tell me about being over different biomes. I don't really think there is. Or if there is, there's not one on this capsule. So I think I'm just going to do the best that I can. Now, for those people that want to cheat, and I'm going to avoid cheating. I've done enough cheating. But if people like to cheat, I like to show people how to cheat. Is if you press Alt F12 to bring up that console menu, you go this time into cheats. There is a make the biomes visible. So you can click on that, and suddenly they're all color coded and they don't tell you which is which, but there are all the biomes So all you have to do is wait till you're over top. Ooh, like I'm about. I think I'm just missing that one. But you know what we'll do is I won't do that. I'm going to turn that off. We'll get a handful of biomes. I don't want to spend all day doing this. I did notice there was one up towards the top here, so I'm going to take advantage of what I just saw and grab. I think it was right around here. Let's see. Bob, EVA. EVA report. Oh, that's a lowlands. I already got lowlands. I should make sure that I'm pointed at the sun here. I am. I'm good. Like for the solar panels. Let's try EVA and Bob again. Lowlands again. Okay. Alright, so I won't do... Maybe... It's this little plateau here. One more try. Midlands. I already got Midlands too. Okay, fine. But we should be able to get some poles here. That should be pretty easy. Just got to get up on the top. Got myself a very conveniently... I'm in what is often referred to as a halo orbit, where I'm in the sun all the way around Minmus, just by coincidence. I didn't plan that. That just worked out that way. But that's kind of nice. EVA report over Minmus's poles. 32 science. Board again. Let's come down here. I can see we're coming over to a flat zone. I think I'm just going to miss it, though. Let's try and see if we can catch just the edge of that. EVA report. Minmus's lowlands I got. There's probably some slopes along here too somewhere. EVA, Minmus's lowlands again. Just want to catch the edge of this flat zone. Keeps wanting to give me the lowlands. I can get not lowlands. I can get not lowlands, right? Great flats! Awesome. Okay, store that in there. And I know there's a slopes biome as well, but I don't think I'm gonna... You never quite know if you're right there. No, I'm back in lowlands again. I think I just got that edge of the Great Flats. Board again. Thank you, MSG, for your note. Oh, I think I got another chunk of great... Oh, no, I'm coming this way. Okay, let's just keep going around. And I'm not going to be exhaustive with this. We're going to get a lot of science as it is. I'm just going to... If I see something below me that kind of looks like something new, then we'll grab it. Oh, coming over a pole again. Let's see. Where are we at? Seeing another one of these kind of plateaus. Let's see if that... I think there's a Minmus Highlands. Honestly, not 100% sure. EVA report? No, it's still Midlands. Okay. What else can we grab? And of course, as we keep doing this, Minmus is rotating below us. Oh, here we got some stuff coming up soon. Okay, we're just missing it on this go around. Maybe just catching it here. Greater Flats. I think that's new. I think I had Great Flats, and this is Greater Flats. Yeah, took it. That is good. So we got the Greater Flats, the Great Flats. Here it's hard to see what's coming up because it's in the night on this side. That's just going to be more Greater Flats. I'm going to get a couple more of these little flat areas, I think, and then I'm going to call it. Oh, I think I'm... Nope, we're going to get this one. Whatever this one is. There's a great flats, greater flats, flats, flats. That's what this one is. And then there's a lesser flats, which I'm suspecting is this one here is the lesser flats. And then I think I'm going to call it a day. Remember the polls? I did get the polls, John, but thank you. That was one of the first things I got. And I'm thinking that this business here is the lesser flats. Am I going to get it on this pass? If not, I'm definitely going to get it on the next one. There's also slopes around, but lowlands again. Okay. Let's go around one more time. Because then I'll get to what I really want to talk about, which is just simply how to get back from a polar orbit. Oh boy, Minmus rotates quickly. Okay, here we go. EVA report. If this is lesser flats, I think I'm going to call it. Oh, it's great flats again. I think I got that one. I did. Shoot. Bored anyway. Maybe this guy is lesser flats coming up over here. Oh, whoa. Hurry up, Bob. Was too slow on the kill the time warp. Lesser flats. Okay, that's it. I'm done. I'm done with that. Okay, let's I'm noticing my ship is not really oriented that well for the solar panel, so I'm just going to turn it. Get some nice solar panel exposure there. That looks better. Okay, so let's talk about getting back to Kerbin from a polar orbit. If you want to spend, if you're doing this and you want to spend more time getting over these biomes, that is perfectly fine. Now, remember how it works. Actually, this is going to work kind of okay. You want to, Minmus is going along in this direction in its orbit about Kerbin, so you want to eject yourself in a retrograde direction relative to Minmus's direction. So you need to kick yourself out this way. So that means I need to do a burn maybe around here-ish. Put some prograde on it. And it's going to be about 150 meters per second, somewhere in that zone. And you can see that it is going off in pretty well the right direction. So if I, let's see, let's put it in about 150. There, about 145. I can see now it needs to be more this way. And you can tell by how inclined that orbit is, you want that, your orbit around Kerbin to come out pretty much equatorial. And then you can take a look at your periapsis and you can see your periapsis is getting closer. So this is kind of in the right direction, though sometimes this is working out all right because my angle that I'm in this way is not that bad. So I can probably make this, oh shoot, I just did that by mistake. I can probably make this, but this is going to work for me. I can see that it's going to work for me. But if you want to actually get this to be right going in the right direction, so to reduce this little angle here to nothing, you have really two options. One is to just wait as Minmus travels around in its orbit about Kerbin. This angle will change. So just to sort of simulate that, if I put this onto the maneuver, go to here, and start pumping ahead about a whole pile of orbits. So if you watch my periapsis with Kerbin, you'll see it's going to change. So now I'm pumping ahead a whole bunch of orbits like that. And then what we'll do is we will adjust the timing. Let's go to 5-second intervals. So that bring that periapsis back down. Oh, it's actually gotten a lot worse. So notice how high my periapsis has gone by going ahead several orbits. Now you can't see it here, but the reason is because as Minmus has moved from here to here, this angle has gotten worse. So what I can do is just wait until Minmus goes basically all the way around to around here-ish, and I can reduce this angle as low as I want. The problem becomes that Minmus's orbit is something ridiculous. If I center on Minmus, what is the period of Minmus's orbit? I should be able to see it here. Does it give me orbital period? Does it give it to me? It's not going to give it to me. It gives me rotational period. You're a stinker. It's something like 50 days or something like that. And so you'd have to wait like 25 days for this to work out. And if you're in orbit about the moon, you probably will want to do that. The moon's orbital period's only 6 days, so at most you're only going to have to wait about 3 days to get that to work. But here, what we're going to do instead, and I can already see it coming up in the chat, is do the second approach. So I'll bring this orbit back to where I had it just a bit ago. Reduce that, adjust the timing here to get the periapsis as low as I can. That's about it there. Yeah. What you can do is simply use this normal vector to kind of pull this way. And because Minmus is pretty light, it's not a very massive body, this does not add a lot to your burn doing that. You know, adding a little bit of extra normal. And so you want to get, see if I can see this now. Yeah, you can pull that closer, so you're actually going out right along the direction of Minmus's orbit, and you can see that that has brought down my periapsis a little bit. So that's the other alternative. Didn't add too much to the burn, so that's what I'm going to do. So around Minmus, that's an easy way to fix that. Around the moon, you might want to wait. I'm hoping that made sense. I'm not sure it did. But I'm going to bring this down further. If you see that this is becoming very inclined, that's because the timing isn't quite right. So you can adjust the timing to get the timing to be about right. You want when the plane of this orbit about Kerbal is in the same plane as Minmus's orbit, you're actually right in the right spot. I'm going to give a little bit more prograde. Probably, yeah, I might need to adjust the timing just a little bit. That was too much the wrong way. Let's reduce this a little. And I'm going to go for a periapsis of about 35 kilometers. There we go. So that orbit is sending me off in the direction. The main thing to remember is when you want to eject yourself is that you want to eject yourself in a direction that's parallel to whatever body you happen to be going around. You want to be parallel to that, not going off in some funky angle to it. Okay, but this is going to work for me. This burn's coming up in 22 minutes. It's only a 7-second burn, which is pretty close to what I think my burn was to get here. So that tells me that it's fine. And we'll just do this. Yeah, Minmus is, people are talking, or John mentioned, Minmus is easier to land on. There's the eternal debate. Should I head for Minmus first, or should I head for the moon first? And the moon is much easier to get to, in other words, to get a capture of, because it's a bigger target and it's closer and it's in an equatorial orbit. But Minmus is very easy to land on. So if you want to practice powered landings, Minmus is a great target for that. But it just takes you longer to get there. All right, so I'm going to watch this from here because I want to pay attention to my periapsis with Kerbal. So I got it on the maneuver node. Again, it's only a 7-second burn, so I'm going to start to burn a little early and just not go to full thrust. Right on the maneuver. The maneuver is not prograde because remember I put that normal component into it. All right, let's go to about a 3rd thrust here. And I should be seeing my trajectory about Kerbal in just a moment. There it is. Let's cut this. Basically, I'm just going to do this until I see that at 35 kilometers. That's all. Oh, a little bit of a moon encounter. Another moon encounter. A lot of people, when they do these burns, I think, really want to go to full thrust, like, all the time. And honestly, like, there's real world rockets do have the disadvantage that you don't have this infinite throttle range that you get with KSP, but in KSP, like, you can take your time with these burns. Usually works pretty well. Okay, again, I want to think about where's the sun? That is the worst. Oh, I'm getting all messed up by the camera because I'm coming over a pole. I'm just trying to orient this for the solar panels. There is what I'm looking for, right there. Okay, that looks pretty good. Put this on orbital. All right, we're out of here. Let's go. Goodbye, Minmus. We shall see you later. Next time we come back, we'll be landing on you for sure. Okay, and now I'm just waiting for that SOI change. You can already tell the SOI change is coming because it slows down the time warp. I can see Kerbal way down there below us. I'm going to quick save. It's still going to be 8 days, 2 hours before we're at Kerbal. I like to time warp and really keep an eye on this. Oh. That might finally be that contract. That might finally be that contract. Contract parameter. Explore Minmus. Oh, yeah. That, bunch of milestones. Contract complete for the deployed mystery goo. Excellent. Because I just got another 18 science from that deployed mystery goo. So that's good. That's good. But anyway, as I was saying, as I'm time warping towards Kerbal, I like to keep an eye on this time to periapsis. Because Kerbal it's like going so slow, and then always at the end, it's really shocking how quickly Kerbal can come up on you. And I'm going to slow down the time warp now, and you can, as long as you keep an eye on this time to periapsis, you won't accidentally time warp past your target, which is surprisingly easy to do. So you can see here I'm only almost 2 hours away from periapsis. An hour from periapsis. And we're falling pretty quick. Oh, more mystery goo stuff happening in the background. That's not for the contract, it's just still going. Nice. Get the camera looking good. Alright, I'm only 7 minutes from periapsis, so time to get serious. Now, I have collected all of my science. It's all stored away safely up here. Alright. And here we go. Just about at 90 kilometers. Let's kill the time warp. Yeah, nothing to do but the stage. Put this on retrograde. I like to put this on surface, and then I like to turn the SAS off. The parachute staged at the same time as the decoupler, so the parachute is armed. So basically now it's just riding this down to the surface. And that is going to finish this off. I did get the whole mission in. It's nice when you can reuse a vessel. I do like reusing vessels, not building from scratch all the time. Makes things go so much quicker. Let's time warp a little bit. Oh, we can hear explosions happening back there on that service module. And then I gotta think about, there's another contract done. What contracts have I got in reserve? Let's slow the time warp down a little bit. Let's take a look at what contracts I have, because honestly I'm forgetting it. So this Explore Minmus contract will be done as soon as we've recovered and collected that science. I still got bring some moonstone back from you. Oh, they deploy. Oh, that's it. So I really do have to look at contracts, don't I? Maybe go back to the moon and try that moonstone after all, or maybe do something else. I'd really like to rescue me some Kerbals. It would be super nice for us to expand upon our core. I got Jebediah sitting in a space station all by himself. That leaves me only 3. Coming through. I think we're in the water, right? Oh, we are most certainly in the water. All right, I'm really looking forward to seeing how much science this is going to be, because I think it's going to be, even though I sort of, you know, kind of gave up on the biomes. I know there's a couple there that I didn't get, but that's okay. Don't have to get everything. But I'm pretty sure this is going to be a pretty decent haul. Okay, and splash down. And recover vessel. Let's see what we got. I'm looking at the poll, and the restock says 84% to keep restock, so that is what is going to happen. So thank you very much for everybody who participated in the poll there. Let's see what we got here. We have, whoa, 816.5 science for a total now of 1,076 science. Awesome sauce. All right. And we'll collect all that. And Bob and Valentina, I think, have now become my first level 2 Kerbals for their brief orbit about Minmus. And if we take a look here, we got, what did we got here? Oh yeah, more 8 science from that. Some milestones from coming back from Minmus. That's the Explore Minmus contract now complete. Awesome sauce. So you know what I think I'm going to do? I think I'm going to be drawing this stream to a close. I'm looking at the time. It's maybe a little shorter than some of my other streams, but probably it's too much to get into something new. So when we come back next week, next Tuesday, I'm going to spend this 1,076 science. I'm also going to take a look at mission control and see what contracts there are available. But all of that is going to have to be for next week. So in the meantime, I'm going to thank everybody that's in the chat. I'm going to thank everybody that's watching this at a later date. And of course, as always, a very, very special thank you to all of my Patreon patrons and YouTube members who keep supporting this channel and inspire me to continue on putting out this KSP content. Thank you very much. Have yourselves a fantastic week, and we'll see you all again next Tuesday. Bye, everybody.